Did you know that over 920,000 shelter animals are euthanized every year in the United States? Many of these deaths could be prevented. Animal shelters are supposed to be safe havens, but the reality is far from that. Many are overcrowded, underfunded, and filled with suffering animals. Worse, local governments and law enforcement do very little to change the system. Today, we'll expose the hidden truths behind animal shelters. The abuse, the poor conditions, the myths people believe, shocking statistics, and the failure of authorities to act. This is Dr. Mark, animal advocate, longtime rescuer, published author, journalist, former deputy sheriff, and the creator of this video. Let me be clear, there are no horrifying pictures in this video. It is a video to let you know the true nature of many animal shelters. Animal shelters should be places of safety, but in many cases they are anything but. Inhumane euthanasia practices. Some shelters still use outdated, painful methods like gas chambers or heart stick injections, which cause slow and agonizing deaths. Neglect and mistreatment. Overcrowding means animals often go without food, water, or basic medical care. Many die from preventable illnesses. Abuse from shelter staff. There have been cases of employees beating, starving, or deliberately killing animals out of frustration or cruelty. Lack of transparency. Some shelters refuse to disclose euthanasia rates or allow public oversight. Illegal activities. Some have been caught selling animals to research labs, breeders, or even dogfighting rings. In 2022, a Texas shelter was exposed for euthanizing animals while still fully conscious. This is not an isolated incident. Even in shelters without outright abuse, conditions are often horrible. Overcrowding, too many animals, not enough space. Dogs and cats live in cramped cages, often stacked on top of each other. Unsanitary living conditions. Feces and urine pile up due to a lack of staff, leading to diseases like parvo and respiratory infections. Limited veterinary care. Sick animals are often left untreated or euthanized due to lack of funds. Mental suffering. Animals become depressed, anxious, or aggressive from stress and isolation. Imagine sitting in a cage for months, watching others get taken away, never knowing if you'll be next. That's the reality for millions of shelter animals. Many people believe myths that prevent real change. Please let us know in the comments if your shelter is a no-kill or a kill shelter. We want to know. Myth number 1. All shelters are no-kill. That is simply not true. In fact, many shelters euthanize animals. Many shelters euthanize animals within days due to lack of space. Owner surrenders are usually the first to be euthanized, while strays have a hold time by law in order to give the owner time to claim their pet. Myth number 2. Shelters are a safe haven. While some are well run, many are underfunded and poorly managed. Myth number 3. Shelter animals are bad pets. That is far from the truth. Most were surrendered due to irresponsible humans. When an animal is taken on that becomes your family, your responsibility. So, in many cases, it is not the animal with the bad behavior, it is the human. Myth number 4. Adopted pets have more problems. Again, not the case. In reality, many shelter animals are well behaved and just need love. From a long-time animal rescuer such as myself, I know this is the case. Love is always key. They're just waiting for someone to give them a second chance. The numbers speak for themselves. 6.3 million pets enter shelters each year. Only 25% ever get adopted. Over 70% of shelter cats are euthanized due to low adoption rates. Black dogs and pit bulls are least likely to be adopted. Most shelter animals are surrendered by owners, not strays. Every number is a life. Every statistic is an animal waiting for a chance. Why aren't things changing? Because local governments and law enforcement do almost nothing to protect these animals. Many cities have no animal cruelty task force. Most law enforcement agencies treat animal abuse as a low priority. Courts rarely issue serious penalties for animal abusers. Cities underfund shelters while allowing puppy mills and backyard breeders to continue operating. The system fails these animals at every level. And unless we demand change, nothing will improve. So what can you do? Adopt, don't shop. Every shelter pet adopted saves a life. Spay and neuter your pets. This reduces the number of animals ending up in shelters. Support rescues. Donate, foster, or volunteer. Speak up. Contact your local government and demand stronger animal protection laws. Expose the truth. Share this video to help spread word. Change starts with awareness. Now that you know the real truth, Dr. Mark begs of you to demand from your local government that they start taking animal abuse seriously. Ranting and raving on social media will not help these animals.